Hey guys, been a while since I made a video, so I'm going to start making some more. And instead of just making a little sandbox to make them in, I'm going to do a couple while I'm making this game with a friend right now. So it's going to be actual, like, real examples, not just, a little character in a box or whatever. For this one, I'm going to show how to use Unity events. And what I'm doing on this one, it's actually going to be really simple on this video, but what you can do with it is endless. Like, you can come up with everything. So for here, we have this little terminal here. And what I want to do is make it so that you can press a button and it calls a method on this terminal. Right now there's only one in the game. There might be some more later, so that's why I'm thinking I might use a Unity event for it. And then any other terminals that get added, all we have to do is add one. It'll be very simple, you'll see. So everything code-wise for the terminal, that's already done. I'm not showing how to do any of that or, really any of the input or anything, just how to use the events. So what a Unity event is, I'm just going to show the easiest way to compare it is, you're probably familiar with the OnClick of a button for the UI here. This is basically a Unity event right here. So you can add in an object, pick a script from it, or pick the game object itself and disable it. Whatever you want happens when you click the button. We're going to do the same thing except for on the player object. So I'm just going to delete this button and let's go to the player code. So first thing we got to do is we got to make a variable for the event. So I'm just going to serialize it so we have it there. And this is a neat thing I noticed. Just recently. I don't know when it changed, but now if you don't have the namespace in, it actually shows up in the autocomplete. And if you just click it, it adds it. So if I click here, it's going to add UnityEngine.events. I'm not sure when this happened, but that's awesome. So if either way, you just need to make sure you have using UnityEngine.events, and that's going to be type UnityEvent. I'm going to call this interactable computers. We'll go with that. This can be any variable name you want, doesn't matter what it is here. Okay, and if we go back to Unity, select our player, and then on the script you're going to see it has the same thing that was on the mouse button click. So here we can just click the plus sign, and this adds a record. And if we go into our environment here, order station is the one I made for it. So let's go to player, we'll go to the event here, and we're just going to drag it in. There's already a script on here called junk terminal. We're going to pick order junk. This is the method already made that does all the work we want. So just for an example here, this is what we're doing here, but you could easily also add another one and say this music object. We could drag that in there. And you have all these other options, like if you pick Gameobject, you could set, set active. You can control it here on the event. So if this is checked, it'll set it to true. If it's not, so if we have this unchecked, when this event's called, it's going to run this order junk and set this music object to false. And you can add tons, do whatever you want here. So before I explain that a bit more, we're going to show an example actually using it. So let's go back to our player code. And we have this variable here, the interactable computers. I'm going to go and update. And let's go here. I'm not really going to explain the input side much. I have this set up for Xbox controllers. So it's like Action 4. You won't really see that. But this can be called anywhere. You can use it on like input.getKey, get button down. Wherever you want. I'm not going to cover the input, but we're going to do that. And the way you call this is we take the variable interactable computers, and then we just do .invoke. And that's literally all there is to it. If we go back to our game, I'll grab my controller and make sure the volume's down because the music's kind of loud on here. Okay, and if we play this, so now if we move over here, actually right now it doesn't matter where, it'll read it from anywhere in the game when you press it. But if we press the button, it orders our junk. Then press it again, order some more junk. And let's go one more, there, even more junk. So yeah, it's literally that simple to do. So I'm just gonna stop this. And if we go back to our player, so yeah, it's here. So like I said, this example, there's only one item here. Another thing too is we set this up and we have to drag it in and select the object. If I start adding more of these terminals in the game, you can set that up to do that by code as well. So you don't have to actually manually drag anything in. You can find that from code, and it works the exact same way as for a button. So if you just Googled how to add a OnClick event via code for a button, the exact same thing here. It'll all work the same. You can use this for, like triggering a whole pile of bombs, turning on and off lights. You can put like 30 different objects in here all doing different things, whatever you want. It's a really handy thing, so I just figured I'd make a quick little video while doing this. And I'll probably make a few more as I start progressing through here, so let me know if you like them and if there's any other ideas you have, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks.